Hi there, my name's Rikki James. I run with a bunch of other people the Split Stream Fan Club. We're at one of our shows, one of our displays, and this is my bus. The bus is a 1954 right-hand drive barn door Samba. Sambas being the ones with all the roof windows, corner windows, windows everywhere. Travelling greenhouse if you like. Quite a rare model, simply for the fact that it's right-hand drive and it's a barn door, so they are few and far between, and to actually find one in right-hand drive was like the holy grail for myself. So yeah, this is the bus. I've done a few things to it. I mean, it was initially found in a field in Sweden, in a forest. Had been abandoned for about 30 odd years, 25-30 years. The bottom was pretty rough, but we managed to repair it, put it back together. Quite a lot of the stuff was missing, like the engine, the gearbox, a lot of the drive chain at the front, all the front beam was kind of pretty rotten and whatever. But the most important thing, it was complete. If you tried to restore one of these early Type 2 VWs, the parts, if there are any parts missing, they are extortionate on a later version, let alone something this old. So one of the main reasons why I went for the bus was because it was so complete, lacking just a bit of metal. Kind of thought, what did I want to do? I like lower modified buses. I like my buses to be fast, I like them to stop, I like them to be safe. So I decided to go down the Porsche road. Most of the running gear is Porsche. I've got Porsche brakes, Porsche wheels, I've got a 911 Porsche 5-speed gearbox, and I've got a 914 Porsche engine, which is basically began life as a 2-litre. It's now 2.6. It's heavily modified. It's cammed up. It's got big carbs, Porsche fan shroud, kicking out. Initially about 200 brake horsepower. So it's great fun. You can put it into fifth on the track. You can put it into fifth at about 100 miles an hour, and the cam comes on and it just lifts off. So it's my dream bus, my holy grail, and I'm going to keep it forever.
Do the work yourself?
No. Well, I've done some of it, but not now. No, I haven't got time. I'm too busy running the club and being a father and working a normal 9 to 5 in my dreams, a normal job. So I've done quite a lot of the stuff, all the stuff inside I've done, but when it comes to mechanics, I can't see the point of me doing something that other people are better at, and I can get on and do my own job and earn the money to pay for it. So no, I try to leave that to other people. It's fine if it's a stock vehicle where you could just take a component off, put a new component on. That's quite straightforward, and most people can do that. But when you're modifying every single thing to get it to fit the bus, it needs an engineer. It needs somebody who is a professional at the job. So I leave it to other people. I leave it to the pros. All the displays we do develop through the Split Stream Fan Club. The Split Stream Fan Club is a national club formed in 1984, specifically before these type of vehicles. Just a group of enthusiasts got together and decided to create a club to get parts and maintain their buses and keep the old VW Type 2 spirit alive. Back in '84 there were probably about 15-20 members. The club was pioneered, I guess, at Stamford Hall back in '84, and has grown considerably, let's say. It's gone in all sorts of directions really, because initially it was very much stock, unmodified buses. But over the years, people have started to develop buses and do things to them and vary the kind of the style of the bus and customise, modify, soup them up if you like, for want of better words. But it's developed because people have developed with it. You know, you've got the kids who used to go to shows like Bug Jam and Big Bang and all the rest of it, and they've all grown up. And as they've grown up and got families, they need something a bit bigger than a Beetle. So they've bought their buses, and because they've been modifying their Beetles, they're now modifying their buses. So it's a cycle, and it keeps modifying. But the club was formed. Like I say, there were very few people initially. Now we stand at about 1,300 members. And we are pretty much prominent at every single VW show in the UK. Even abroad, you know, we do shows, we go in convoys, we go abroad, we go over to Germany, Holland, Belgium, France, various shows through the summer season, and we always have a convoy of 20 or 30 buses. it's just a whole lifestyle, and it's great. And you know, you can get it's ironic, but you've got people like from the '60s who were using these buses because they were cheap and they gave them freedom, who still have their buses now, and of course they're almost retired. And then you've got the youngsters. You've got such a cross section of people into these buses. That's what makes the scene. The scene is so vibrant because you've got people from all walks of life, and it really works well. And you'll go to a show and you'll meet up with people who you have nothing in common with whatsoever, that you've never met before, but because you've got buses, you're off, and it just works so well. So anyway, yeah, the club's developed. It's full on now. Like I say, we're doing all the shows, and we've had like little splinter groups that have kind of come from that. Clubs like the BWA, which is a club that I started off. Oh gosh, probably about 6 years ago, and that was put together because there were quite a few people out there who had hot race buses, if you like, and a lot of several of the VW shows have drag strips, and it kind of made sense, you know. You've got a drag strip, you've got to take your bus up the drag strip, and once you've done one run, you want to go faster, you want to beat the guy next to you. So that's what's been happening over the last 5 years with the BWA. We've got a club that is solely for split-screen vans that can run a quarter of a mile in under 18 seconds. It doesn't sound very quick, let me tell you it is. The split-screen van is the most unaerodynamic vehicle on the planet. So to get a split to run sub-18 is a lot of work. You've got so much work to do. And bearing in mind that a stock split-screen van would run probably 26, 27, 28, you can see there's a massive time difference. So yeah, we put this club together, and it's rocking. We've got probably in the region of about 20 members, and in order to get a bus to do that kind of speed, that kind of acceleration, that kind of grip, that kind of stopping power, you've got to spend 20k on top of what you've already spent on your bus. And so it's a pat on the back to say, we've got like a club banner, club t-shirts, club shirts, club stickers, we call them the wings. You get all that if you achieve the goal. So that's what BWA is all about. And I'm sure there'll be more clubs that will be involved within the Split Screen Van Club that do other things. So like I say, it's constantly developing. And it's the barn door, where that comes from, is a lot of people think it's something to do with the loading doors. Well, unfortunately, it's not the loading doors. It's to do with the engine lid. From 1950 up until 1955, March 1955, the engine lid on a bus was this size, from the bottom of the window on the swage line down to the rear valance, to the bottom of the rear valance. Anything later than that, and the engine size changed to this size. All buses from March 1955 onwards had that size engine lid. The reason for that was so that they could use the bulkhead space on the back parcel shelf as opposed to wasted space in the engine bay, which kind of makes sense really because it utilises the space inside the bus as opposed to outside the bus. Another interesting feature about these early buses, if you look along the lineup, you can see that the red one with the ambulance fire truck has a peak at the front above the windscreen. Well, pre-55 buses, March 55, didn't have that. The next one along here, you can see, look, this is completely peakless. Well, Volkswagen decided that because a company called Bear, who made these things, these are called Bear air scoops, they've developed these to get cool air into the vehicles, not specifically for a sound, but because obviously you've got a sunroof and you've got all the air that you need, but for a panel van it's a different kettle of fish. So Bear created this thing called a Bear air scoop to get cool air in. Well, obviously Volkswagen thought that was a good idea and incorporated it into the design of the bus, like they have done on that red one. All through the production of Volkswagen, of the Type 2, there were different companies doing different things, and as Volkswagen became aware of them, they incorporated them into the design of the bus. So it's quite clever really how the bus has developed, not through Volkswagen, but through other people's ideas, so that's quite an interesting feature. The other thing I was going to mention was there's a bit of confusion between a 23 window, a 21 window, a 13 window, a 15 window. That's all about how many windows the vehicle has. A prime example is a 15 window is a pre-63 bus that doesn't have the roof windows, so hence it's got the 15 windows all around the side but nothing in the roof. A 13 window is a later bus from 63 onwards, which doesn't have the corner windows, so hence that's 13 windows. And then you get the 23 windows, which have the windows on the corner, the windows on the roof, the whole scenario. So that's the variations, and that's why there are, that's where all that comes from. At the end of the day, they're buses. They're all buses. They're all